I just wanted to take some time today to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channel over these past 2 years, everyone who's supported me, everybody who has left positive comments, because there have been definitely a lot of not so positive ones, but to the ones who have been really kind and supportive, thank you so much. I apologize for not being able to make more content over these past 2 years, especially over the past 6 months to a year. It has been really hard for me to include this in my time management. Uh, been a really crazy couple of years for me and my family. If you didn't know, I am a husband and father of 4 children. They're all very small. I have a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So it's been kind of crazy, just trying to manage being a father and a husband, but also on top of that, the demands of life in general are very high for us. Back in 2022, I became a youth pastor after I did a year-long internship at the church that I was going to. And I did that job for 2 years. So from 2022 to 2024, I was a youth pastor at a church, and I loved that job so much. But there were some really big issues for us as a family unit because the pay was not very good starting out. And because of that, at first I actually worked a second job. I was serving tables at night, and I would go, to my day job as well. And that became very taxing very, very quickly. I mean, in the first, maybe 5 or 6 months, I had to leave my part-time job because the demand was just so high working as a youth pastor. Some weeks, especially leading up to camp, I was working like 60 hours a week, trying to get everything ready for those camps. And there was no way that I could work, prepare a message, and actually do the job well while also going to another job at night to provide for my family. So I had to leave that, and my wife picked up a full-time job to support me in my ministry. So my wife never wanted to be a working mom. She always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids at this point, and it was really hard for her to work full-time while I was also working and trying to raise a family together. And ultimately, she sacrificed so much for the ministry, for my ministry. She basically became my unpaid assistant because I was supposed to have an assistant that the church would have paid for, actually hired someone to be in that position for me. And that never happened throughout my 2 years that I was there. So my wife took on that role in an unpaid volunteer kind of way. She was helping me plan for camps, weekly gatherings. She was managing the social media for the youth group. She was mentoring students. She was leading worship for students. And so we loved the actual function of doing ministry together. We loved the dynamic that we had going on there. But financially, we were not okay. We were very unstable during that time. We were not able to make ends meet month over month. And that just added a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. And toward the end of this 2-year time period is actually when I started this YouTube channel. I actually started it because I wanted to make supplemental videos for my students. Like, I would get into conversations with students during youth group, and they would ask me a big question, a big theological question. And I would say, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and take some time later this week to research that a little bit more, and I'll make a video for you, and I'll send it to you. And that's what I started doing. That's actually why I started this YouTube channel in the first place, was just to help my students understand a topic deeper, a little bit more. And that was actually hugely beneficial for them and for myself too. I really enjoyed making content like that for them. And it was a lot of fun. Now, unfortunately, we had a major roadblock in this journey together. on top of the stress that we were having financially, the stress that we were having in terms of feeling overworked, there was a point in which my wife became aggrieved with a staff member who said something that just completely sent us over the edge. It was very difficult to try to move past that. It was really difficult for us to try to make amends for that. And we ended up ultimately leaving the church because of that. We made the decision that that church was not going to be the place that we could stay any longer because of those big interpersonal things that happened. We had theological disagreements with the church the entire time we were there. It was a Methodist church, and I am not a Methodist, so that was another really big issue for us. But we had to leave. And after leaving, it was a huge challenge for us transitioning out of that. Because number one, what am I going to do for work? Number two, what does this mean for our family spiritually as well? So there were a lot of really big questions that we had to answer after my time in that ministry. I started working as a server, just waiting tables and bartending as well, just trying to make some money for our family, trying to do what I could. And I started applying for everything. I applied for hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs, and got nothing. I got zero. I got maybe three interviews over the course of like 2 years. And I didn't get any of those jobs. And it was really hard. It was really hard to go through that. And, even today, I'm still serving and bartending because I have not been able to find something that is consistent, something that will actually pay the bills, something that isn't just more of the same thing. So for a while my wife was still working full time, I devoted a lot of time to this YouTube channel. I was making lots of videos at that time. I would spend like 40 hours a week on this YouTube channel while also working 40 hours a week at the restaurant. I'd work on my videos in the morning. I'd also take care of our kids and homeschool them. And then I would go to work at night. And then when I would get home from work at night, that's when I would actually record the videos. So I would do a lot of like the planning, the research and things like that during the day. And then at night when I came home, I would do the recording, and then I'd work on editing for days. And I really loved doing that. But again, it was not extremely sustainable because at this point now we had 4 kids. My wife had our 4th kid just 1 month after I exited my position at the church. So we were really not doing well in certain aspects. And I, just wanted to trust God with the process. I wanted to trust God that He's got us covered. And I kept making videos. Things started coming up, things started changing with the type of videos that I made. Instead of making videos about topics that I enjoyed, I started making videos about other people who have been hurt in the church, because we were hurt. And I started talking to people who were greatly hurt by people who had ill intent. And that really felt like a new purpose and a new mission that God had placed on my heart. And so that's what I started doing. And that caused a lot of problems. It caused some problems because there were so many people who came out, reading YouTube comments is horrible, people. Let me tell you. Because I would log in to YouTube to do an upload and I would see like 100 notifications. And I'm like, oh no, not again. And it's just, you're demonic, you're going to hell. this, that, another. Do not touch God's anointed one. Did you bring this up with them? Like, what do you, oh my gosh, what are we talking about? This is crazy. But then I would see comments saying that this video really helped me. And that's what made it all worth it. So at this point, now, we're almost getting close to 2.5 years after I left my position at the church, almost 3 years actually with this YouTube channel now. And it's funny because I haven't actually made a video for this channel in like 6 months or something like that. And the subscriber count hit 1,000 subscribers like 4 months ago or something. But I literally haven't had the time to make a video to thank all of you for subscribing because I'm just so busy all the time. Last year, my wife and I decided that she was going to quit her job and that I was going to become the sole provider for this family. And that has been really difficult, really, really difficult because I'm still serving in bartending and I still haven't found a full-time day job at all. But instead, I started a pressure washing business to try to supplement our income in that way. And I did change which restaurant I work at. So I do work at a theme park now. It is a little bit better, but it's very inconsistent with the hours. So it can be a little bit tumultuous at times. Like 1 week I can work 40 hours, the next week I can work 10. So it can be really, really dicey some months. And, we've been praying that God blesses our business so that I can find some consistent income. So that way, maybe I can eventually pull back on some of the serving and the bartending and do other things that I actually enjoy. Like I would love to invest more time into this YouTube channel, but until my finances are, stable, like actually stable, it's not going to happen. For perspective, this week I worked for probably about 20 hours on my business, trying to do marketing and things like that. And then I worked 35 hours, I believe, at the restaurant. And this week, I'm actually at church right now. This was literally the only time that I actually had to spend on something like this because I was teaching in kids' church this morning at the 9 o'clock service, and I'll be here for the 5 o'clock service too. So I have this gap of time where I can take a little bit and do something like this. And just to clarify, we went back to our old church, the one that I did my internship at after I left my youth pastor role. This is the church that, I've been healing at. I got some really good counseling from some people that I really love here, and they're incredible. And so more recently, I was asked to help with like VBS. So I did Vacation Bible School with my wife. It was amazing. And then we started teaching on Sundays for the kids as well. So today's one of those days. So I've given you guys a lot of background into why I haven't been able to invest a lot of time into making more videos for this channel. I hope you understand, kind of the struggle that we've gone through as a family. But I do want to make a commitment because, hitting 1,000 subscribers is a really big milestone for me. It's something that, I'm really grateful for because that means like literally 1,000 people have, wanted to support me, which is actually so humbling in that way. And I want to make a commitment to keep making videos for this channel in whatever capacity that actually is. It may not be super consistent, but I want to do my best. Like I was just praying to God this week that he would give me some time so that I could do something. And this is what he gave me. So that's what I'm going to do. It may not be super well edited. It may not sound great, but it's going to be something. And I hope that's okay. Also, if you're wondering, no, I don't have my handlebar mustache anymore. I used to have that. One of the theme parks that I was working at for a short time made me shave it off. And then after I left there, I was like to my wife, oh yeah, I can grow back my handlebar. And she said, no, you're not doing that. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting the Gospel Mindset. I pray that God shows you his kindness today, his love, his mercy, and that you have a fantastic and wonderful day. God bless you.